Today I'm going to be sharing a little video about my 16-day trip to Taiwan with you. 2 years ago I went on a round trip with my mom and we saw nearly all of the beautiful island of Taiwan. If you're interested in our itinerary, please keep on watching. Let's start! Before arriving in Taiwan, we had a 24-hour layover in Shanghai. We took the super fast maglev train into the city. This train can go up to 286 miles per hour. The first place we had to visit was the Bund. From this river promenade, you can see all the impressive skyscrapers of Shanghai. Next up, we went to Yilan, which is a classical Chinese garden. Unfortunately, I forgot to film because I was so tired. By the way, please excuse the fact that I'm gonna be butchering a bunch of place names in this video. We returned to the Bund at night, which was even more impressive. We began our journey in Taipei, the capital city of Taiwan. On our first night, we went to Dihua Street, which is one of the oldest streets in Taipei. Here you can find countless little shops that sell traditional Chinese medicine. The next morning, we explored the Lin family mansion and garden, which is a private mansion built in the Qing dynasty. Although the rain kept getting heavier and heavier, we didn't want to miss out on taking the gondola up to the tea village of Maokong. It was super cloudy and freezing cold, but we still enjoyed it. On our final day in Taipei, we went to the National Palace Museum. Sadly, the famous jadeite cabbage and the meat-shaped stone were not there that day. Since we had been to Taipei before, we didn't visit all of the main sites, but here's a list for you. We drove up to Yangmingshan National Park to see the steaming volcano. We then left the broader Taipei area and drove down the east coast towards Keelung. On day 4, we visited the Jiufen waterfalls and the Jiufen Old Street. The nearby Golden Falls are also a sight not to be missed. After one night in Yilan, we continued down the east coast. It's a very scenic drive, filled with steep cliffs and lookouts that are worth stopping for. We then visited Taroko National Park, which is famous for its gorge and abundance of little waterfalls. On our first full day in Hualien, we went on a short hike to get an overview of the area. Back in the city, we went to Jian Shrine, which is a shrine built by Japanese immigrants. On our way to Kanding National Park, we stopped at a dragon bridge, which connects the island of Shanghai to Taiwan. This area is probably the best place in Taiwan to spend a beach holiday. Hopefully though you will have sunnier weather than we did.
Du bist mit drauf.
After spending 3 days in the south, we headed back north again, this time driving along the west coast. We arrived in Kaohsiung, a city that I had really been looking forward to. Love Lookout offers beautiful views of the city. You can also spot the 85 Sky Tower from here, which we would later visit. Mall, the largest shopping mall in Taiwan, even has a rooftop amusement park. We took the Ferris wheel and as you can see it was pretty high up. Lotus Lake, also known as Lotus Pond, is an artificially made lake. All around it you can find temples, pavilions and pagodas. When you visit the Dragon and Tiger pagodas, make sure to enter through the dragon's mouth and exit from the tigers. It is said that by doing that you will be able to get rid of your bad luck and increase your good fortune. If you take the MRT, you will definitely come to Formosa Boulevard Station, since it is the only interchange station.
Nein, du kannst ruhig was dazu erzählen, was du jetzt machst.
Was soll ich denn erzählen? Ich laufe die
Was
Straße
du
entlang
machst.
zum Fluss.
Zum Fluss? Ah.
After the sun had set, we went to a night market for dinner. The next day we went to Taiwan's ancient capital, Tainan. Anping Old Fort was built in 1634 by the Dutch East India Company during their rule over Western Taiwan. Today, it's a museum. few steps away from the fort lies the Anping Tree House, a former warehouse overgrown by a giant banyan tree. The next place we visited was the Confucius Temple. Unfortunately, it was currently under construction. Hayashi department store was built during the Japanese colonial era, which is why you will find a Shinto shrine on its rooftop. On our way to Sun Moon Lake, we stopped at a monster village. As you can probably see by the scary monsters, it is not for the faint of heart. Luckily, we got out of the monster village alive. And we got to see Sun Moon Lake. This temple is located between Sun Moon Lake and the mountain. We were so surprised when we first walked in because there were so many different areas to the temple and each of them was so unique. On our final day in Taiwan, we decided to take the gondola up to the Formosan Aboriginal Culture Village, an amusement park which also showcases the different indigenous tribes of Taiwan.
Ich dachte erst, die wären unecht oder so, weil die so perfekt aussehen.
Before we knew it, we were already back at the airport and on our flight back home. I hope this video could bring you some joy and some inspiration for your next trip.